Welcome to Black People Love Paramore, a podcast not about the band Paramore, but about the common and uncommon interests of Black people in order to help us feel a little bit more seen. We talk pop culture over here, fun stuff, and on the occasion, a little bit of serious stuff too, but not today. Today, we are talking about Black romance, which is a fun, fuzzy stuff, Black romance and media specifically. So this is inspired by the current TV show on Netflix. By the time this episode comes out, it's probably going to be a little bit old, but we still love it. It's called Forever. It is a coming of age story based on a Judy Blume novel, and it is so fun and so cute. We'll get into it in a little bit. In the meantime, y'all know I have to hit you with the housekeeping. Please rate and review the podcast, Spotify, Apple, all that. 5-star bitches, naturally, of course. Also, buy some merch. I always forget to tell you that we have merch. We do have more merch than simply the Ariana Grande shirt. We have the 5-star bitches shirt. We have straight branded Black People Love Paramore shirts. And we have a Mocha Grande shirt. There's a lot of options. If you want to go take a look at the store, it'll be down in the description box below. Grab a little piece. It's different pieces, not only shirts. It got like handkerchiefs. What are those things called? Bandanas. Oh my God. Bandanas. If you guys can see Juwel's face.
I'm being embarrassed.
It has other things, just go and see about it and let me know how you like it and order something. Thank you, because I love my bills paid. And then I think that's all the housekeeping that I had. And Juwel is here today. That's the co-host that we have today. We have Juwel. In case you're not watching, that's Juwel. She's right there. I know you heard the voice already. It's very distinct. It's very recognizable. You guys know that Juwel tried to tell us. By us, I mean me and Ryan.
And Minty.
Juwel hit the group chat talking about, oh my God, you guys, there's an epidemic of people losing their accents in the South. And I think that that's happening to me. We said, well, I don't want to undermine the fact that that likely is happening. I don't think that it is happening to you just based on the way that you do sound. So I wanted to, alleviate you of that fear that you had.
Yeah. Ryan literally said, I don't think it is. And then when I posted a screenshot on Instagram and called him a bully, he said, yes.
And what about it?
I was stunned. I'm trying to tell y'all about an epidemic going on in my community. And this how y'all playing. It's all right. Go on.
Yeah. So I just thought that was interesting. Thought that y'all might find a little funny tidbit. Because we did. We had a good chuckle, a good guffaw out of that one. Actually. So yeah, you recognize the voice there naturally. That's Juwel. And we're going to be talking about some fun stuff today. We have Forever that I mentioned before. We have romance novels. So that's like 7 Days in June by Tia Williams. Before I Let Go, This Could Be Us, both by Kennedy Ryan. She just came out with her third installment in that series. It's the Skyland series. I don't remember what that third one is called. I definitely have Google in front of me.
Because the series is based on Atlanta. Like Skyland is
and Skyland
version of Atlanta. Yeah.
It's Can't Get Enough.
That's it.
Can't get enough. Can't get enough. I need that.
That was my song.
Yes. I used to like that song.
That song I used to run that song into the ground. Yeah, that was my J. Cole fandom days.
I never even liked J. Cole like that, but that was like my first car. And so I remember driving my first car. I think I was probably like 17, had that playing on my way to whatever little dumb thing I was doing. What a fun time, TBH. So we're going to be talking about that. Of course, we got the novels. We got Forever, the new series on Netflix. We have Insecure, naturally, that had lots of Black love in it. And we have Love Life Season 2 because, listen, the cancellation of that one, that is my favorite show that probably has ever existed. Or, I don't want to be dramatic, but definitely up there.
An example of something that was not for the niggas, that the niggas said, it's mine
Hand
now.
It over.
Don't put nobody else
it over
in the series. If they not melanated, we don't want to see them no more. And they said, don't worry, we'll cancel it. And they
said, canceled. Never mind. Don't worry.
Y'all got a little too hype. We're gonna cancel it.
You will have nothing. Got a little bit too urban, a little bit too ethnic in here, and we would like to keep the festivities very white. Yeah. So we are going to cancel it. Actually, thank you. So we're going to be talking about all those things because we deserve, and it's very fun. And yeah, why not? Let's start with Forever. Juwel. Oh my God. I binged the fuck out of this Netflix series. I feel like it started off a little bit slow for me. I felt like...
Why slow?
It started off, I wasn't in love with the writing up front, but I think that was just because they were having to do exposition. You know, they were having to set up stuff. And I was just like, man. But then once everything was set up, it started smacking real hard.
Okay. So for context, I'm like halfway through the 3rd episode. So I've only seen the beginning episodes. The writing is not irking me.
Okay.
But it just made me realize, like, I don't think I like teenagers. Because the ping pong back and forth, block them or don't. Don't unblock them or don't. I don't care what you do, but I want us to make a choice and I don't want to hear about it again.
And it was so serious. Like, it's getting so, you know what I mean? Like, I was talking to my friend Tristan about it, and he said, it feels like they're going through a lot for a little first love. I said, because it feels serious when you in it.
And I get that, but I said, this is why I wouldn't go back to high school for nothing in my life, because you blocked him yesterday. Why are you acting like it's the end of the world today? You've been through it before. You literally just went through it yesterday. Like, what do you mean? I just, the ping ponging, the inability to communicate, very teen things, all very valid for teenagers. And I'm also like, I can't stand this. But what I will say is my favorite thing so far, and again, I'm only 3 episodes in, Wood Harris getting to be a dad.
I loved it so much.
My heart, it's like it's healing something in me. First of all, that man done played a drug dealer for half my damn life, okay?
Hello? I said, oh, wow. What is to do something that's not scary?
Across the series, he been shooting niggas and being a drug dealer. So, to see him just be a successful, loving, supportive husband and dad, it really did. And again, I didn't expect him in that role, but it was so nice.
And so perfect. Like, he fits into it so incredibly well. And it's really refreshing to be able to see him play a character like this, be able to see his nurturing side and see what he probably is like as a dad. You know what? I don't want to speak out of turn.
Who knows? But I'm like, him and his brother been terrorizing my screen for so long. I didn't even, you know what I'm saying?
It didn't even occur to me. And you know what? Okay, and this is not really a spoiler for you because you're not from LA.
And I also don't care. You know that I don't care about spoilers.
You actually don't care about spoilers. I forget that you don't care about spoilers.
I seek out spoilers.
So strange. I care deeply about a fucking spoiler. Like, I'll be sick if somebody spoils some shit to me. But the restaurant that Wood Harris's character owns in the show is called Linden. It's this restaurant in LA that me and Garrick just discovered. We went into. It's Black owned, and when I tell you, we were fucking blown away by the meals that we had at Linden. Someone comes over to the table exactly like how they portray it in the show. Someone comes over to the table and they're like, I think it's the owner. He's like, I named it Linden because Linden is a street that runs through New York City. It runs through Brooklyn and Queens or something like that. And he's like, it has all types of people on the street. It has Latino people, it has Jewish people, it has Caribbean people, it has Black American people. And so all the food at Linden has all of those elements in it. Yes. And when I tell you, as someone from LA, I hate to fucking admit it, the food scene in LA is not the best of them. You know what I mean? When I go to the South, obviously, when I go to Atlanta, when I go to New Orleans and stuff, I'm like, whoa, like, I thought food was good in LA. Food is crazy in fucking Atlanta and New Orleans. The food at Linden, 10 for 10, not a single note did I have.
That's crazy.
And so when we got to that part and we saw that the restaurant he owned at Linden, when I tell you, me and Garrick stood up, screamed. It felt so good. We're like, wow, this is LA.
This is LA.
Like, this is LA. And also, it's shot where Garrett grew up.
That's what I was about to ask, because it felt like, I'm not from there, but I was like, this seems really LA.
It was so.
I love it.
It was so LA. There's a sequence where they're walking through Koreatown. I lived in Koreatown for like 5 years. I also lived briefly where Garrett grew up. It just was so LA. It was great.
Yeah.
So special.
I like it. I like it so far. I think the parents are really such good characters.
I love them.
I'm still coming around to the teenagers. TBD.
And you know I hate a teenager. I actively hate a teenager.
Terrifying individuals. I love kids. I love kids up until the age of like 10 or 11. At that point, I do have to send you back to your mama.
I'm telling you, about 11, they start to get a little.
I definitely gotta send you back to your mama.
It's
the way
like
that my
11 to
teenage
23 too.
Okay, because I got teens and my sisters are 20. Okay,
They
and
coming.
then-
They about to come up out of it. They about to come up out
no,
of
they're
it.
not.
Finally.
No, they're not. And and then my cousin is 16. My little cousin is 16. The way that little girl be.
Is this the one you be picking up from the skating rink
individual.
sometimes?
Yes, the one that I be picking up from the skating rink. Terrifying individual. These kids are crazy. Like, I'm like, oh, was I like this as a teenager? Like, I'm like,
there's no fucking way we were like this as teenagers. I refuse to believe the teenagers I'll be looking at today that be getting on my goddamn nerves. I refuse to believe I was ever one of them.
I think we were, but I think we had more fear in our hearts. Like,
I think so too.
Like, I was scared of my, not because I thought my mama was gonna like beat me or nothing, but that lady is, you know.
I didn't want to get in trouble. It seemed like they could give two shits about getting in trouble.
I just didn't really want to run up against her like that. It didn't seem like the thing for me to do. Right. They don't seem to care.
They don't. They really don't.
They don't seem to care. And I don't really know what to do about that. And I was like watching it, and I guess it's probably, I never really finished Euphoria because Euphoria stressed me out.
What?
You knew that.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
Jewel, you never finished Euphoria.
And won't finish it. I didn't finish the first season.
What are you talking about?
Sequoia,
you're upsetting me.
Sequoia, the teenagers doing drugs and all that. Why are we on OnlyFans or whatever the hell we was doing? I couldn't take it.
It wasn't voyeuristic to you? Because I never lived that life, but I do want a little inside look to know what is going on.
Overdosing in high school is crazy. Like, what am I supposed to do with this? Like, this is... I am sure this is somebody's experience.
Yes.
I went to a black high school. I don't even really think we drank like that. I mean, we drank, but I don't really think we drank like that. It wasn't a thing that like it was like and smoked a little weed. Like, what do you mean?
Yeah, doing crack and coke, right, and going to rehabilitation and heroin and prescription drugs, Vicodins and stuff.
And maybe, you know what? And I want to say it's because I didn't go to a white school, but the way that these little kids, be acting today, I do think some of the black kids probably be popping pills or doing whatever the hell they be doing. I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely.
So maybe it's spooky ooky at the black schools too these days.
It's giving that, but yes, I didn't relate to Euphoria at all. Similar,
I just couldn't
to what
watch
you said,
it.
But
It
I
made me
did like
sad.
it. But I did relate to Forever a lot.
Really?
Like,
how?
This you haven't gotten to. I feel like
I don't care
it for you. Okay. Spoilers alert, y'all. If y'all have not finished it, just know I'm gonna spoil some stuff throughout this episode. It's just a first love story that is so.
You relate to
like
it?
there's no trauma like within the first love portion of it.
Oh, okay. Because I'm like, it literally. The
it
conflict
starts off
is
with
based
a little
on
bit of,
trauma.
I know the conflict is based on trauma, but as it gets past that, because it will get past that, yes,
okay, because that's the most stressful part of this for me. Is I'm just this is.
I know. No, it gets past that, but I definitely relate to like your first love just being like this pure, actually wonderful experience that isn't traumatizing and isn't, the first love part isn't traumatizing. What she's going through is traumatizing, but the love part is not. And it's just like lovely, and we never get that. Black people never get fascinating that.
Because I think that's just how you are in general when you talk about like previous relationships. You're like, it didn't end, like it ended, but like good times are had. And I'm like, oh no, I was heartbroken, so that was truly the worst experience. So don't want to like, you know what I mean? Like, I think first loves are so beautiful and pure, and you're feeling all of these feelings and emotions for the first time. Also, that means if you experience heartbreak, you're feeling that for the first time, it feels more dramatic. It feels more painful.
That is
like
it feels fucking fact.
Do you know what I mean? And so like,
yes,
it to me is a very like the dualities of it. I'm just like, ugh.
No, that's so real. That's so real. And I feel like they do a really good job of displaying those dualities of it here too. That's fair. It just isn't like, there's no like, she gets pregnant and it's a life altering, she's a victim of some type of like, there's no life altering thing. It just ends as spoiler. It just ends as it does, as first love does.
That's gonna hurt me. I thought, what's the point of the show now if they don't stay together?
Not you just told me you didn't care if I spoiled it.
I didn't think it was gonna break. Oh Lord, I just didn't see it coming. Mind you, halfway through the season, I would have Googled it because I wouldn't have been able to take the suspense. And then I would have spoiled it for myself. Man. Like, I am, this literally who I am. Like, I start to be like, I can't take this anymore. I'm not finna endure heartbreak on the half of the show, so I'm gonna spoil it for myself and see what happened. But that really just hurt me. What do you mean that don't work out?
But they break up like in a very...
I don't give a damn.
I can't.
That's the whole point of romance, is you're supposed to stay together.
Did you want to end up with your damn high school sweetheart?
I did. That's why I was heartbroken that I didn't.
But now in your 30s, are you
in hindsight,
I should
terrible decisions. But
I should have been with that
that's
nigga.
Not the point. No. The point is, when I was 16, did I want to sell off into the sunset? Absolutely.
Until you didn't. And that's how it be. That's how it be when you're 17. I think it takes place over like a couple years. I think they get to like senior year, like they're going on 18 or whatever. It's just like, yeah, I did, and now I don't.
No. Because you don't, I guess, so there's some people, like, I don't know how to put it. Like, you didn't have a relationship. It didn't even have to be the first relationship, but you didn't have a relationship that just lingered way longer than it should have. Like, most relationships are not a clean break. Yeah, like, most relationships are like, we're done. I'm just kidding. We're not done. Like, we're just, you know what I mean? Like, what do you mean you broke up?
That much. I haven't done the, like, I'm just kidding. We're not done. I've just done, like, we're still best friends, and so we're still hanging out almost every day, and still like also having sex, and still like
that's kind of yeah.
But we're not together.
I was very terrible.
We're not together.
I was very terrible in my early 20s of being like, either we're together or we're not. Lose my number outside of that.
Oh, you were so you.
I was
bad
at. No, I was bad at it. I was the like, oh, we're still best friends, or oh, we still are like hanging out all the time, or we're still like, why am I talking to your mom? Why am I at your mama's house?
Hello.
Don't call my mama again either, and I mean it.
Relatable.
So yeah, I don't know. That's my high school ex just stopped calling my mama a few years ago. This is very recent.
Oh, you know what? Let me not judge.
I'm serious. And I had to tell her, you're pissed. You keep picking up the phone and it's starting to piss me off.
Why are you picking up the phone for him?
Don't answer that man phone call again.
Answer it again.
Oh, well, Juwel, it's just a nice thing. I don't care.
Period. It's actually very much like that. I love the mom in this.
Which one?
Love his mom. I love Justin's mom in this. I don't remember what the lady's name is. See, I need to stop acting like I don't have Google. I do. And also, I can stop acting like I'm on the radio. I have to talk when I'm looking for something. You'll come to like her. I did not like her.
No, I don't dislike her, but I'm just curious. Like, what was it about her that you loved? I'm just genuinely curious from your perspective.
I think what this show does really well, and Garrick mentioned it actually, it subverts all of the where you think the conflict is about to go, at least on all of the parent sides.
Sure.
So you think the parents are about to respond one way because historically this is how Black moms have responded. And instead they respond a very different way where they've been reading up on childhood trauma. You know, like they are clearly more informed, like it's like a different generation.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, I understand like that you're going through this right now, and therefore instead of flying off the handle like I want to, I'm going to say this to you. I'm going to explain, you know, it's just like a little bit different. I'm like, damn, I'm impressed.
Nice.
It was really nice.
Have you seen that TikTok trend these days where people are saying common Black parent phrases to their kids to see how they respond, and the kids have no idea what the hell they're talking about?
I sure have. Absolutely.
I said, not the trauma being healed. Yeah.
I'm like, damn, are we really the generational curse breakers? For examples, it's like somebody will be like, I brought you in this world so I can, and the child is supposed to fill in the blank. Right. And the child's like, take me to get ice cream. And the mom's like, okay.
Or I'll give you something to praise about. Like the kids literally have no idea. Like, I don't know what you're like. They have no they don't understand what those phrases are. Mind you, when I think of them, I immediately know the end of the phrase.
Right. So her character, the Justin's mom in particular, is really good about that.
Okay.
Keisha's mom, it's kind of more of a mix of what we traditionally have experienced, and you know, having a little bit more knowledge on.
That's fair.
What affects your children.
I'm still really early. I didn't dislike. I do think she's tough in the first few episodes, but not in a way that I like hated her. Yeah. In a way that I was like, that's probably gonna be me. No,
I literally said the same thing. I said, that's
gonna be me. That's gonna be
how I
Ryan.
am.
Me and Ryan gonna be cussing each other out because he's gonna be telling me to lay low. You lay low. Don't
Very
tell me to lay the
much.
hell low.
Very much. I'm not laying low. This child needs to
You
get it
need
together.
to back me up and don't piss me off. Like,
hello.
yeah, I definitely. So I there was a toughness in her, but I also saw her soften in some ways that I thought were like very nurturing and very fair. Again, I'm still early, but I didn't dislike her, and I also like how she peeped too, because I think like good moms do that. Good moms peep what's going on and be like. And I like that she was like, I don't know what's going on between you, this little girl, and I do want you to have somebody, but not if you finna be disrespected. So fix it.
Right. I did like that too.
I like that. You know what I mean?
Like
because
that
she never
too.
said anything. She didn't embarrass him. She didn't call it out in the moment. She didn't even ask what's going on. She was like, I don't really give a damn what's going on. That's your business. But one thing I will say, don't let nobody play in your face. And I like that.
And I like how she, like you said, like how she peeped what was going on with her child too. You know, she's in the midst of this conversation with this woman that she hasn't seen in a very long time. She's obviously excited to talk to her, obviously excited to see Keisha. And she still got one eye on her son, and she can pick up on his emotions and what's going on with him. And I really like that.
It was the same way the granddad in one of the scenes, like he saw her walk off. That man said, "And where are we going?"
Right. I like that too.
They were very observant, and he was very like the granddad was. And there was a moment that I thought was really powerful because she was like, "Oh, my dad loves me," and he was like, or she was like, "My dad's doing the best he can," and he was like, "No, he's not."
I love that.
He literally is not. Love is not enough. Fix it.
I love that.
And I love that because I love not teaching, especially young girls. I love not teaching young girls that doing the best you can or love is a valid excuse, because I think not only do you take that from parents, but you grow up to take it from friends, you grow up to take it from romantic partners, you get into all sorts of, even if they're not like traditionally abusive, like unhealthy relationships, because you were taught at a young age that it was okay that a parent was doing the best they could, but they weren't actually stepping up. They weren't actually doing the best they could, to be quite honest. I really like that moment.
That was so real to me as well. It's like, yeah, don't make excuses for grown men's poor behavior. He's giving you lip service, talking about he's doing the best he can. The best he can is be present with you here, and he is not. So, And
I love that it was another man who said it, and I love that it was somebody from his side that said it. Like, I really liked that.
100%. And I'm happy that she still had, I like that they portrayed that she still had, like, a strong male influence. Like, it wasn't like her story wasn't a sob story, you know, like she don't have a sob story. And I feel like that's more likely what it is when you have single mothers, you know. It's like not always this.
I didn't feel that sob story when I was raised by a single. Whenever people try to talk to me about that, I'm like, I'm sure that exists. Also, what are you talking like? That's not my life story. What are you talking about? Like, people are like, I'm sure it was so hard.
You're like,
being raised by a single mother.
Being raised?
How did you do it? And I'm just like, girl, we had a blast.
I had a good time.
We had a really good time. Best thing she did was leave that man and raise me alone.
Also, there's so many women who are married and still single moms. Hey. So let's start there. Let's really start there. You over here trying to
he in the basement the whole time. So now what? He don't know what school the kids go to. He don't know what they're allergic to. He don't know what their doctor name is.
Okay.
He don't know what time they get out of school. He can't help you pick them up because he don't know even know where the school located. Like, it's just like, you're a single mom.
Like, so yeah, you pitying single moms.
It's just really
who
embarrassing.
Are literally single.
It's out.
But you might not be single, but you're a single mom.
Yeah, stop it.
Yeah, stop it. My mom says the exact same thing. My mom, you know, raised by a single mom. Her mom was 15 when she had her first kid, 21 when she had her last kid. And my mom's like, yeah, I didn't miss no dad.
I genuinely, like, it's so funny because I know, like, when I got older and I would try to talk to people would be like, you need to examine the hole that, like, not having your dad in your life and not being raised by your dad, like, created for you. And I was like, I literally don't be thinking about it till y'all bring it up.
Right. I don't feel a hole until you allege that I have
when
something.
You brought it up, now I'm up here trying to find the hole. It literally never occurred to me. Like, I'm not saying that there is not trauma, but this deep, I'm sure there are kids who feel a deep longing for a parent that was not
Definitely.
there. And also there are kids that are like fine.
More than okay. Like very much okay.
I feel very loved. I did not lack for love. I did not lack for support. I didn't lack for parental guidance. So I didn't realize that something was missing.
And that's what I liked about Keisha's story. Yeah. She did not lack for parental guidance at all. And she didn't seem to lack for love.
Or even, what I will say in her situation is that I liked the way they portrayed her mother as somebody who was like working multiple jobs. She worked late. Clearly, like, she had a complicated schedule, but she was still very present. She still she still had a bond with her kid. She still like, when that man sent her flowers, she said, something's up here. Now, she didn't put two and two together immediately, but she immediately saw them flowers and said, he's apologizing for something or something.
And you know what? That was part of what I was having a hard time getting through writing-wise. I felt like that was a leap.
You felt like it was a leap?
I did. I felt like her assuming that something was up or that he was apologizing for something specifically. I was like, now how did she get there? I was like, oh, this feels like exposition. Okay, so then,
Only because I think, and this is just as somebody, especially somebody who is like raised by a single mother, like I definitely know there are times when like moms can just read your tone or your shift in your like, posture or the way that you are like showing up in the room. And I think the only reason she went to that was because she was like, this man just sent you not just like some flowers from like CVS, but like some very expensive, very lovely flowers. This is like a well-coveted man, blah, 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 blah. And you seem terrified that there are flowers in our home. That's strange. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like she was reading her body language and she was reading the fact that this seems really exciting and you look like you want to die. Something's wrong here.
I can see that.
So that's the only reason now. Yeah, like if she had kept pushing it, I'd have been like, that's a little weird. But the only reason I didn't immediately think that's strange was because I felt like she was just in tune with her kid and being like, why are you not more elated that this? Because she's a teenage girl. Like if a man that you really, really like sends you some flowers that are that gorgeous, like you would have been okay. They would have been on Instagram stories within the second.
That is a fact. But I think the only note that I have for this, and I just thought about this right now, this is not something I was thinking about when I was watching the show. The only note that I have for that point is like, well, then how come you couldn't read her body language when she was going through the huge, huge, huge trauma of having her sex tape passed around?
I don't think that's unfair. I don't think that's unfair.
I
don't think that's unfair.
So I don't know. I was having a hard time. But once we got past like just the little... because obviously you have to set that up, right?
You have to set it up. You have to do all this stuff. Right. No. Right. I get it. And I do think that both of those things are very fair.
Right. And like first seasons of shows, and this is why it's really unfortunate that many Black shows don't get more than 2 or so. Mm-hmm. First seasons of shows are a lot of exposition and a lot of getting to know characters and a lot of setups and... it's not usually the best season.
In the second season. Oh,
they really might.
Lord. Oh, I'm so pleased, Sequoia. I'm so.
Why did you let me tell
God.
you? Why did you? Let
I'm so pleased because that's great. We're just building for season 2 for the.
We're just building for season 2. They really could come back together. Yes.
Okay, that's great. Okay. Whew. I was so worried. I'm serious, Sequoia. But no, like I think that's that's the thing about pilots and like the first few episodes of a brand new show is like you got to world build and character build and do all of these things that take time and people have to be patient enough to like, so that the payoff actually,
there's a payoff.
Yeah. So that there is a payoff. Yeah.
Very much. And other TV shows that I feel like did a really good job. Okay. Well, before I get into that, season 2 was just announced for Forever. And I'm very, very excited about it. And the way that they announced it was they like made a video of all the cast getting the notification that season 2 is picked up. Yeah. So each of the cast reacts to like seeing that season 2 is picked up, which tells me that this is not going to be an anthology. I did want Forever to be an anthology.
I don't think it's a bad idea, but unfortunately they didn't stay together in season 1, so I do have to drag it.
I guess you and everybody else. I guess that's what they
say. If they had
too.
stayed together, if I had got my little thing wrapped up in a bow, then we can move on to the next couple.
It
but
is
we
wrapped
cannot.
up in a
I
bow,
don't
Jewel.
give
I'm
a
telling
damn.
you.
I don't give a
It
damn.
is wrapped up in a bow, and that's why they need to. That's why they need to leave it and move on to another couple. Because once you get to the end, you're gonna be like, oh, that really is wrapped up in a bow. Like
I'm one of
if
those
they
people,
get, it won't make sense for them to get back together.
I don't give a damn. The toxicity in me is if you're meant to be, I don't give a damn what makes sense. It's fated. Let fate take its course. Do you know what I mean? I still believe.
I do.
I feel like I'm a hopeless
come,
romantic sometimes. So maybe that's where it comes from. How come what?
Now, how come you don't have the same energy for romance novels? Miss Hopeless Romantic. I also don't have this energy for romance novels. I'm not gonna hold you. I love a romance in visual media, but I don't love a romance novel.
I think that there is something about like a TV show or a movie and the way that you can build characters, the soundtrack of it, because I really enjoyed the soundtrack of this.
That's so true.
I really enjoyed the soundtrack of this series. Like, I think there's so much that you can build up in a show that in a book I'm just reading flowery language, and I do think we amp it up a little bit. Like, why are you talking to me in soliloquies? This is pissing me off. It just starts to get on my nerves when I'm reading romance novels.
I 100% agree. It feels like the characters in a romance novel are never real enough for me.
Ain't fleshed out.
I'm like, this is too flowery. That's generally what it ends up being. And obviously I don't want people to have to go through trauma in order for it to not, but it's like the way they speak is too flowery. Like,
sometimes
it's soliloquies, like you said.
Trauma, I'm over. It's so funny because my boyfriend and I have this argument often because he feels like a good book cannot be less than 500 to 600 pages, which I think is nuts. I think
my mouth just dropped.
It's nuts.
You said
okay,
5 to 6.
He said, and that's being generous. He really feels like 7. Get over it. Like, because he feels like that's how long it should take for you to build this world and for you to develop these characters and for you to set up.
Only in sci-fi, babe. If we're already in the real world, it's if we're in Atlanta,
Brooklyn,
if we're in Skyland, I don't need all of that. Thank you. In fact, I'm not reading it. Thank you.
I don't want you to explain Queens to me that bad. You're about to piss me off. I don't think that that's necessary, but I do think sometimes, and I'm not saying this about all romance novels because I don't think it's true, but I think sometimes when I get annoyed is when I feel like we could have built up the character. We could have done a little more character development. We could have. I
feel that way.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
yes,
we didn't need to get 500 to 600 pages, but we could have did a little more.
Do you know who is a fantastic fucking writer? Kylie Reid she doesn't write romance, but she is, when I tell you, a fantastic fucking character builder and dialogue writer. I'm so incredibly impressed. She wrote Such a Fun Age.
I loved that book.
I still haven't gotten to Such a Fun Age, but her other book, Come and Get It.
Okay, so I haven't read that yet.
I was floored by the way that she wrote characters and the way that she wrote dialogue. It was the most vivid and clear characters I've ever seen in my life. And I have yet to. I want her to write a romance novel for that reason.
I read Such a Fun Age when it first came out, so I didn't even know she had other books because I hadn't checked in on her. Let me tap in.
I'm telling you, tap the fuck in and let me know, because if you're okay. So the thing about me is I'm not a plot driven girl that deeply. I really am a characters driven girl and a dialogue driven girl. So that's why I was at first having a hard time with Forever, even though it did come around and get really, really good.
Yeah.
The dialogue of it wasn't fantastic for me at first, but it did get good because again, at the beginning you're like having the characters say expository stuff, so they're having to say certain stuff, you know, right? And I'm like, nobody would say that, you know, like, and it's just like,
that's what I don't like about romance novels, because I'm like,
and that's what I don't like about romance novels.
I understand that we are trying to build a dream man, but I do want the dream man to be believable. Niggas don't speak like that.
Like, and if they do, at least make them like put in some verbiage where I'm like, oh yeah, niggas do talk like that. So this one is just a good loving nigga, you know, right?
But that's what I'm saying. Like, you can do that, and you can show somebody who's like not toxic and loving and verbally expressive, communicative, without them just being. It's not even a corny thing for me. It's literally unrealistic. Like, why are you speaking like that?
I agree. I agree. That's my problem with romance novels, and I really want Kylie Reid to go ahead and write a romance novel because I know for a fact she would eat that shit down.
Now, have you read what was the name of that romance novel? I know it was by the author Aqu Mihei. I don't want to pronounce her I'm trying to think about that. What was that book?
I've never read a romance novel by them. I read a different novel by them.
Okay. So their books I really enjoy. They're always like left of center, kind of like they're and I really enjoy that about their like works, because their books always go in a place that I was not expecting. But they tried their hand at a romance novel, and it was so toxic and fun. But I kind of enjoyed it because I'm getting to the age where I don't want it to be super like sweet and syrupy.
I agree.
I want some mess. Like, I am reading this book to forget about life. I want mess to occur. I want us to be silly.
I want a page turner.
Yeah, yes. I want silly goofiness. I want ridiculousness. Now, I want it to be believable, but I want it to be a little ridiculous. Like, and that novel was their first time trying their hand at a romance book, but it was fun.
Okay, I'm happy to try that out. Yeah, because a lot of the romances that I have read, I guess, are just a little bit too predictable. Like, that's the whole thing. Like, I'm like, yes, and like and this is coming from me. When I tell you I love a happy ending, in fact, if an ending's not happy,
I be wanting niggas to break up. It'd be making me that mad in the books. The books be making me that mad. I actually don't want y'all to be together. Now what?
I love a happy ending real bad. Speaking of Insecure, Issa and Lawrence getting back together at the end of Insecure, and that being how the entire series wrapped up, I manifested it. I always wanted them to get back together because I'm a happy ending girl.
I don't think I thought about it.
Yeah.
I really don't. I don't think I thought about like what's the perfect ending for Insecure. I think Insecure was one of the few shows where I just was like, wherever they take me, I will go. I will say Insecure stressed me out so much that I did stop watching in real time for a while, because I felt like Insecure was one of the few shows, whenever I explain this to people, they think I'm being dramatic, but Insecure was one of the few shows where I like had visceral reactions watching. It felt
You're not the only person I've heard say this, and I'm shocked because I thought one person was tripping. I heard one person say it, I was like, you're tripping. But okay, what happened?
It felt hyper real to me. Like,
That's what they said too.
In a way that I was like, I don't have the capacity for this. Like, I'm serious.
That's what they said too.
I'm serious. And because I'm like, why are you triggered? You didn't cheat on your boyfriend in the studio. Like, why are you upset, Juwel? Like, but it was so like watching that relationship dissolve and watching this, like, just the way that it was just it's a well-written show is what it is. It was a really well-written show.
Is really well-written.
And I felt really connected to the characters. And the characters really did feel like homegirls and homeboys.
They did.
And so when they did shit that was embarrassing or was gonna fuck shit up or whatever, I felt like, I can't watch this. I cannot watch this. There is a train wreck ahead and I can't watch. I literally would be behind. I'm serious. I would not watch. I started back like once we got towards the end, but for a couple, like, I didn't watch in real time because it was that, like, to me.
Wow. Yes, I've heard about maybe 2 or 3 people say that exact same sentiment now. And I will say, I think that's what I loved about it so much. I also did feel like it was hyper realistic. In fact, when the first episode, me and Issa were in like the exact same place in life, pretty much. The first season, I was exactly Issa Rae at that exact time in my life, except I was a little bit younger. I think Issa was 30. I was probably about 22 or something, and like, or 23ish, and I was exactly that. And I remember watching it like,
see, I was young, and it was too much. It was too much, and then
it felt like my exact life.
Remember, I told you that guy that I like broke up with sent me this long thing where he was like, I like the way that I was gonna propose to you. It was gonna be like the Insecure it was gonna be the montage where they get back together. Do you remember the La La Land esque like montage they have where like Issa like imagines that they get back together and they're still in that apartment kind of thing?
Yeah.
But it wasn't real. They weren't actually back together. Like, he like invoked that, and he was like, this is what I was thinking. And I was like,
how manipulative. Yes.
Blocked.
Yes.
Now you done ruined my show. I don't want to think about this when I'm watching my show. Like,
wow.
Insecure was coming too close to home.
That's fair.
And I feel like the niggas was trying to pull tricks out the bag from the 20s are a spooky time is what you're missing, Sequoia. And Insecure
Insecure
captured that so well. But if I'm in it, why would I want to see it?
I totally understand. I totally understand what you're saying.
Like,
I think I had a different response to it, but I did feel the same. I also had visceral reactions to Insecure. But I always believed in Lawrence, and I always believed in Issa, and I believed in them breaking up, and I believed in them getting back together.
I did.
I sure did. I said, he just needs to go grow, and he did.
That's just not how life works.
And she just needs to go fuck other people for a little bit, and she did.
Now, you know I love Nathan.
Hello. Nathan was great. And I love, oh my God, when they almost fought, when Lawrence and Nathan almost fought over Issa, when I tell you,
how could you watch this?
I only dream of such things.
Sequoia, I really be watching like I'm watching like this is gonna give me heart palpitations. I can't watch this. Like when Molly would do dumb shit, like when Molly's dating life literally made me want to hide under the table. Like what the choices that you're making are dumb and you don't even see
Molly was
like,
upsetting. Molly was
pissing
upsetting.
me off. And pissing me
truly.
off in ways that like Molly, I saw parts of myself in Molly.
Really? I'm surprised by that.
You don't see parts of me and Molly?
No, actually.
Interesting. I feel like I saw parts of myself, even more, for sure, more so than Issa. I feel like I resonated with Molly way more than Issa.
I am really surprised by that.
I felt like watching, like felt like parts of myself were like a part of Molly. And so when she would do dumb shit, I would just be like, and bitch, this is why we gonna be single forever. Me and you. Because you playing.
Oh.
Because she would be in there playing. Yeah, like just
she
poor
was really in there
decisions
standing
or
her
like
own way. Yeah,
maybe what I saw in her was like I did feel like I used to like pick the wrong guys, like pick the guys that I wanted but weren't paying me no attention. Like that man is not looking at you. He's not paying you any mind. There's a man right there who is falling over himself to pay attention to you, and you can't even see it because you looking at somebody who don't know you exist.
Yeah,
drove me crazy,
That's
but
fair.
also relatable.
Yeah, no, that is
relatable.
Absolutely relatable. What stressed me out about Molly more than like her poor decisions in men, or like choosing men that didn't want her, more than choosing men that didn't want her. Her friendships really fucking. She was not a great.
See, and that's why that's why I hesitate to be like, oh, I saw parts of myself in Molly, because I don't think I was like a shitty friend.
Right, because exactly. So what you're saying, the parts of Molly that stuck out to you were not the parts of Molly that stuck out to me. So while that was happening in the background, it wasn't like the primary thing of Molly to me.
Yeah,
you know, to me, the primary thing of Molly was like, oh, you're shitty. You know, but I'm like, oh yeah,
in a way that's driving me crazy.
And I'm like, no, I don't see that for you, Juwel. But if you're talking about,
she did across the board. She did in her relationships too. That's why she was acting like that.
Understood.
But also it transferred over to her friendships in a way that was just like, this is weird. Like,
ugly.
why are you acting
it was
like
ugly.
Yeah, it wasn't attractive. Like it was just like mean spirited sometimes, or
it was
just inconsiderate maybe. Yeah,
she was super inconsiderate. I'm like, ooh, I don't know how y'all maintain that friendship, TBH. But yeah, Insecure was another, strong black love, consistent all up and throughout that show. Even when it was black mess, it was black love still. And
it was mess.
We loved it. Oh my God, we need.
Maybe I should rewatch it in my 30s because maybe I'd feel different about it. You know,
that's a good idea. Yeah, no, yeah. That's actually a really good idea. I really do think we might feel different about it in our 30s. Truly.
Yeah, I think I could have a better time watching it now.
100%.
Especially because I know everybody end up married and happy. You know what I mean? Like I'm like, good for
it's
y'all.
not stressful, right?
I know how it ends.
Also, and that's also how your life. That's also how your life is going too. So it's not like
20s. Yeah.
It's not like a personalized we're gonna be single forever thing, anymore like that. Yeah. And being single is not. I don't want to make it sound like being single is bad or disease. It absolutely.
I would prefer to be by my damn self before being with somebody who ain't got no damn sense.
Hello.
I had a good time when I was single. Towards the end, like in my late 20s, like before my current boyfriend, after my last breakup, I had a blast. I had a great time, which is when I feel like you start to be pickier about who you let in, because it's like, oh, I'm actually having a good time. So like, if you were going to be here, you cannot piss me off.
Exactly. Don't piss me off. 100%.
Cannot piss me off.
That's that level of self-assuredness and stuff that Molly was lacking.
She did not. She simply didn't have it.
she just didn't quite have it. Another TV show that portrayed Black romance and Black love in just the most lovely, perfect. Again, I told you I'm a dialogue girl. I'm a characters girl.
So
Love
good.
Life season 2,
Oh my God.
dialogue and character. It is a fucking masterclass in how to build a character and how to write dialogue.
Good. I feel
So good.
I don't want to call him Cheaty because his name ain't Cheaty, but that's where I know him from. I know
That's
him
exactly
from,
what his name
I
is
call
to
him
me.
Fucking Cheaty.
We
Having him, this like nerdy, kind of awkward character, be the central love character and be like kind of goofy, kind of making dumb decisions, but also not in a way that he was like dislikable, like unlikable. You know what I mean? He was very likable.
He was very likable.
Yeah, even when he was doing dumb shit, it was like, no, you ain't have no business doing that. But he was still likable as a person. And I just felt so deeply connected to those characters. I mean,
Me too.
oh my God, I loved that. And I found out about Love Life for season 2. So I hadn't watched the first season.
Same.
I went back and rewatched it. I went back and watched it afterwards, but I watched season 2 first. And I said, Anakin and her little love.
And third. And then I went back and watched season 1 after I watched season 2 multiple times.
I said, Anna Kendrick and her little love story is very cute.
It ain't. Honestly, it was also really good. But yeah,
but
season
it ain't
2
this.
is what really hooked me. It wasn't.
It ain't this. Love Life came out at the same. I'm pretty sure. Maybe I watched it at that time. Love Life, I'm pretty sure came out at the season 2 came out at the same time that Couples Therapy did.
Oh yeah.
And
That
I
sounds
feel
right.
like maybe it was because I was in my late 20s. I was trying to like re-examine like healthy relationships, like all of this stuff. But like watching season 2 of Love Life, this like Black couple who is like figuring it out. And they're not perfect. They're making mistakes. They're, not perfect, but they are right for each other. And they, end up kind of achieving this happiness. And then watching Couples Therapy, where there are these couples that are maddening. But you walk and like I would start this season being like, I hate this couple or I hate this person in this coupling. And then I would soften by the end and be like, oh, they're human. Oh. And like there's nobody that's wrong or right in this scenario. They're just
mature.
Different.
Yeah, you're really mature.
Sequoia, that's enough.
Yeah.
No,
Couples
seriously.
Therapy comes back this month.
And
it
I'm
comes
hyped.
back
Bring
May
her
23rd.
back now.
I'm
Bring
excited.
her back. I
am
love
excited.
Couples Therapy. And it was like, Couples Therapy came out right when Ryan and I started dating. It was like one of the first shows we watched together. And it's such a fun way to get to know like a new partner because you get to, what you think about what he said.
Oh, that's so interesting.
Give me your thoughts quickly.
Gary's trying to watch it with me because he know I'm gonna turn it into.
Because I would hate to find out you on his side.
Right. He never, and of course they never are, but I'll be like, so should we talk about what was brought up in this episode? Right. You're like, no, now you're trying to make it a homework exercise.
I started
I'm not
doing
this
it
with
when
you.
we just met, so he was willing to do foolish things. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
like this was earlier. Right now he would be like, turn it off. But
you had to trap him. Yeah.
Early on, yeah. So I just like watching. I don't know. It really that plus Love Life season 2. It just really was such a like good way of like. There's so many depictions of like toxicity on. I know. And I was like, so it just really did something for my heart to be able to see like healthy relationships or people who have imperfect relationships but are like doing their best to work through it. And, maybe that ain't the relationship I want, but y'all love it. Good for you.
Love Life season 2 did so much for me. It really made me also find Cheaty attractive, first of all.
Because I never saw it before. I got to be honest.
Me neither. And then I said, oh.
I kind of see it. I would not. Yeah, when I was watching The Good Place, it never occurred to me.
Never.
Not one time. Good for him and Kristen Bell, but it never occurred to me. But watching season 2, I would say even immediately in the season, I wasn't super, but like by the middle or like in the season 2, I said,
he drew me and I said, oh, wait a minute.
Cheaty, what you doing here? Yeah,
Let me find out. Cheaty, right.
Yeah.
Very much.
He was such a, I think what I like there is I feel like there's so many times where, especially because we don't see a lot of like healthy Black love stories. And so when we finally do, like the casting is so predictable or they go with somebody who has like been this archetype of like whatever. But I felt like they took a chance with him. Somebody who wasn't like a super huge name. He wasn't like Michael B. Jordan where everybody's like drooling over him. And I'm not saying Cheaty's not attractive, but like, you know what I'm trying to say? Like he wasn't that stereotypical love interest where everybody like loves him. And I really feel like that paid off because he was such a good main character.
And it made him so real and so relatable. And the same thing with season 1 of Love Live. Honestly, obviously it wasn't black, but like, you know, everybody looks like a real person.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I really
like
liked
there is no fucking Scarlett Johansson. There's no, you know, there's no Michael B. Jordan. Like everybody looks like a real person, which makes them all the more real, which makes the dialogue all the more believable when it's coming out of their mouth, which makes their stories all the more relatable.
Or like gut wrenching when you thought, because I mean, there's moments in season 2 where I'm like, these niggas are really not finna end up together, and that's really.
I wholeheartedly didn't think they was going up together.
Really about to piss me off.
I really didn't, and I was thoroughly upset.
You know, I can't take
it.
This is something that I cannot handle. And so, when they took it off HBO, like my best friend sent me.
I bought it.
Yeah, my best friend sent me an iTunes gift card and said, purchase it.
Baby, I have bought it. I absolutely bought it.
You out your mind if you think I'm not finna have access to Love Life season 2.
Stop playing with me. I would always have access to Love Life season 2. I don't give a fuck what y'all take it off of. It's mine. Move. Yeah, I definitely bought that. Absolutely bought that. Yeah, that one's serious to me. And something else about all these shows that we've named. Dark skin, black leads. Dark skin, black leads. And like you said, like they kind of subvert that, what you automatically think the leads are going to look like for forever. Are there any light-skinned people in it? I'm not seeing any. I actually didn't. I don't think that there's any light-skinned people in the damn show. I really appreciated that both moms were dark-skinned. Because usually, you know, they have like a dark-skinned dad and
a biracial mom,
light-skinned or biracial mom, and the daughter is also a little bit mixed-looking, and you know, whatever. That's generally how it goes. No, not how that went in Forever. 2 unambiguously black dark-skinned people came together and had 2 unambiguously black dark-skinned children. Loved it. Insecure, very similar thing. I mean, Lauren's not the darkest man I ever seen in my life, but you know, he's not mixed-looking. He don't, you know, he looks monoracial, black, boom, him and Issa. I think one of the most revolutionary things we can do for black love stories is have 2 black people love each other. And when you let non-black people write black love stories, what they think is revolutionary is interracial love. And that's not trauma. Or some type of trauma. They think putting a white person and a black person together is so boundary breaking and revolutionary and blah blah blah. Meanwhile, they're just reinforcing the same stereotypes that we see in our communities constantly. We need to see black people love each other, and that's what I love about all of the shows that we listed here. For sure. So good. Another one that obviously I feel like I would be remiss to not bring up, Moonlight. Moonlight is so good. Obviously, just by virtue of the story that they are telling, Moonlight is steeped in a lot more drama than the other ones that we named.
Moonlight also, though, when I think of like Mahershala Ali and like they weren't his parents, but like the parental figures in that story were also so and like in ways that, you know, we don't always think about, like a drug dealing black man being like, I know that you're gay. And it's okay.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like,
right.
How can we help you? You know what I mean? Like, I really, really love the tenderness that they baked into that show, to that movie.
I love when they make black parents like that.
Yeah. Like,
yeah.
Incredible. Janelle Monae, I just really like that. I like that couple.
And let me say something. I thought that she was good in that. I've heard people have thoughts about the way that Janelle Monae acts. I really thought she was good.
I do have thoughts, but she was good in Moonlight.
I thought she was good at Moonlight. And I don't know if I've seen her something else.
I know you saw Knives Out. I know you did.
Oh, yes, I did. Anyways, love her, Moonlight also love her truly, wholeheartedly. Hey, Met Gala look 8 down. Really showed up and showed the fuck out. Actually, while everybody else was playing it tame and playing it safe, Janelle gonna give it to you how she was supposed to always. Period. And yeah, Moonlight is fucking fantastic. Just more black love stories that are tender and soft and dark skin, ideally.
I love it. Yeah, it's making me, I was like, not hesitant to watch. I knew it was going to be a good show, but sometimes I'm like, that's not the world I want to be in right now. Like, that's not sometimes that's not the genre like I'm operating in. And so I was like taking my time to watch forever. But now that I've started, I mean, I'm acting like it came out a month ago, but like now that I've started it, I'm like, oh, this is so cute. It's so cute.
Yeah.
And I just really love the characters. And to your point, like I love the like black girl and the like black, like I just, yeah, it's the blackness of it that I really truly love.
Wholeheartedly. Me and Garrick were locked in on this show.
I
like I was staying up well past my bedtime. We was like, another episode? We was like, yeah, turn it on, go. We locked in. We love a black love story. Now, we did the same thing with Love Life season 2. I remember actually coming into Garrick's apartment before we lived together, and he was watching it. And he's always watching something, usually something that I'm like not particularly interested in, just because he lives in sci-fi world and I don't. And so, you know, usually I'm like, okay, sure, this is on. The moment I laid eyes on whatever was on that screen, I said, hold on. This looked like a little bit of me, as the Brits say. What is this?
You want to hear something crazy?
What?
I like sci-fi.
That's fair. I mean, I like it too when I actually sit down and get into it. It just takes me a second to sit down and get into it.
I would have never put it on, but I like it.
Yeah. What you watching?
It's a lot of Apple TV stuff. Like Apple TV has a lot of really good like sci-fi stuff.
Yeah, they're actually exceptional at it.
Yeah. So like we watch a lot of stuff from them. And then this isn't sci-fi, but he also has me watching, and I closed my eyes the other day and he was like, Juwel, grow up, and I won't. What's that damn zombie show that was a video game? The Last of Us.
Oh, The Last of Us? You haven't watched The Last of Us before?
Yeah, I watch it. I watch it every week.
Oh, did you watch season 1?
I really like it.
Oh, okay, great. Yeah,
I love Last of Us. Now, I do close my eyes because I don't like them little creatures. And so this week,
they are disgusting.
We watched the last episode, they had one of them creatures on the screen for a little too long. I closed my eye. I turned around.
Yep.
And he was like, Juwel,
they're nasty.
I don't want to see it.
I was watching something with octopuses in it today and had to close my eyes because they looked disgusting. And they were just regular, real octopuses.
The thing about it is, like, I can watch something like The Last of Us because I'm here for the storyline. And I like the storyline. Yes. I like the characters. Yes. Y'all need to keep all of this. It's the same reason I watch Game of Thrones and House of the Dragon. I'm really not here for the fights.
At all.
What is the drama in the castle? Yeah, so I watch it. But, you know, probably not in the way that they want me to.
Right. And you know what? The best episode of The Last of Us is also, or my favorite episode from season 1 is the one with the black people in it.
It was so good.
It was really good.
I was wrecked.
I was
that one and that one and the two, the guy couple. Were they married? I don't
Oh my god, that was fucking great. That was a really good episode too.
I said, call up the award committees right now. And I mean now, because that tugged at my heartstring in a way that I could not explain. Yeah, I really those two, the one with the black father son, and then with the couple, those 2 episodes in Last of Us, I said, oh, I'm tapped in.
It was so good. Yeah, The Last of Us be doing stuff right. If you have not watched season 2 already, y'all, get ready, buckle up, because that shit takes you on a wild ride damn near from the beginning. So that's really it. I don't got nothing else on black love. Love black love. Happy to be,
loved by blackly. What are you trying to say?
Love blackly. Right. I was gonna say love. Happy to be loved by a black man. Yeah, am. And happy to be consuming and have access to so much black love content. It's not like it's a ton, but have access to some.
Yeah,
that's more
but
than
it
we had
feels
before.
more like, because I remember when The Last of Us not The Last of Us. I remember when This Is Us came out, and like Beth and Randall were such my therapist used to be like, that's a good depiction of a black couple. The way that they my therapist used to be like, that's what you need to watch. You see how like the way that they talk to each other and the way that they problem solve, and like that's such a good yeah. But it's like, it was like, even back then, which wasn't that long ago, it wasn't like it was a ton of Beth and Randalls, like it wasn't a ton of black couples who had like a healthy marriage, who communicated healthily,
who fought sometimes but also were healthy,
sometimes but also worked through it and had healthy conflict, and like it was really nice. Yeah,
that was a good one too. That's a really good call out. I loved Beth and Randall, and I love Sterling K. Brown down, and I love him and his actual wife
to this
down.
Day.
Love
she be cracking
them
me up.
Down. She's so funny. They're so funny. They have such a good dynamic.
Because she be honest. She'd be like, I would still love you even if you were not with me, although I would be upset about it. Like, and I'm like, good for you, girl. Be honest.
I love that.
Yeah, I like her. She's funny.
I love that.
Anyway, that's it.
That's it for today's show. Juwel, please let the folks know where they can find you.
My socials are at Juwel Wicker Show across all platforms.
period. And for those of you who want to check us out on YouTube, you can go to youtube.com/@blackpeopleloveparamore. The link will of course be in the show notes. And if you have comments, concerns, love, hate mail, and anything in between, you can email me at blackpeopleloveparamore@gmail.com or across all social media platforms at BPLP Pod. You can find me on my personal socials at Sequoia B Holmes, and you can find me every day on SiriusXM on Unwell on Air. So you can use the SiriusXM app, or if you're listening in your car, you can listen on channel 109 to my radio show called The Daily Dirty. It's live every day from 3 to 4 p.m. That's it. Okay, bye.
Bye.